What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Respectfully the Black Creative. Drop one of Clues Bombs for us.
Another episode.
We here, baby. We here, baby. We here.
What's up, everybody?
Come on, bros.
What's
Y'all
up?
doing
What's
all
up?
right?
Great,
Yeah, man.
great.
Yo, did y'all listen
Great.
to J. Cole's new album?
Son,
I actually checked
all
out
right.
a few songs.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good. Go ahead, Rashawn. What you say?
I went through the first 6 songs,
What'd you think?
and I love Cole. Cole can rap his butt off. You know what I'm saying? But I'm very critical as well. But the first song, like the 95 South joint, best song out off the project. My personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
I feel the same way. Of course, I love Cole too. I felt like I was telling y'all earlier. I feel like he could have came a little bit harder on the songs, but it's a couple good ones on there. I'm not hating on it. I think we needed some new like hardcore rapping music.
Yeah, man. It was either him
More
or
conscious
Kendrick.
rap,
One of them had to drop. Either him or Kendrick, man. One of them had to.
Exactly.
Like y'all said, I was just fortunately, pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Just to be able to get a tape from him. So it was cool that
Yeah.
he decided to put some work in and bring a project. So
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Especially when he was talking about possibly retiring and stuff before.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I think he's still going ahead with that.
yeah, I think he's talking like he's about to retire or something like that.
He
Like,
just joined the African League.
Yeah, the basketball. That's dope. I saw
That's
somebody
dope.
posted one of his plays on Twitter, and I was like, oh, okay.
so
yeah, my man got a little tap
He
back,
scored.
in.
Yeah. It's okay.
But yeah, man, that's what's up. Y'all have good weeks or anything like that? Yeah. How's y'all mental?
Man, mental is good actually, man. Mental is great. I feel good. It's been spending a lot of time with the wife, so it's been great. Definitely been helping the mental.
Yeah. What about you,
So
mental has been, to be honest though, the funny thing is mental was good, and then actually when I got back, a couple days after I got back, it just was. I have Did I have finals? I did have finals, so that
Yeah, you
may
did.
be why. So it just went down, like it
Yeah.
was down for a while, but now it's back up, and I had started working out again, so I definitely
nice.
feel a difference,
Yeah.
and yeah, so it's like a natural energy kind of just is sparking or rising again. Like I don't have to feel like I have to cultivate it as hard when I wake up or a couple
Yeah.
days
Working out would
in.
do that for you for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Adrian, what about you? You had a good week mentally?
Great, man. Pretty good. Pretty good.
I know you just coming back from that trip. I know you
Coming
on a
fresh
high
off
right
the
now.
plane, man. Fresh off the plane.
Man,
It's awesome.
you feeling any jet lag or anything?
Surprisingly, no. You know what I'm saying? We came back. I touched ground in Baltimore probably around like 12:30
Word.
a.m.
Mm.
Got in the house probably around 2. But
Oh, that's
also I
not too
took off
bad.
today. So
So you should.
I
Ah,
slept in.
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smart man.
I'm pretty much the same. Like coming
Next,
off.
I never do that. So it was great to do
No,
that.
I think everybody should take a day off when they come back.
Yeah.
So I think that's a
Not
smart
even
move.
Heck
no,
yeah.
but I'm talking about on top of your trip. After
Yeah,
you
yeah,
come back from your trip, you
yeah,
need that
Yeah.
second to kind of, catch up.
yeah.
Exactly. Absolutely.
I
What
agree
about you,
100%.
Tone? How's your week been, man?
Week has been good. This whole what's today? I guess this whole month has been like pretty chill. Last month I just came off of my first gig as an art director, so I was pretty psyched about that. Yeah,
Whoa,
appreciate it.
that's
Nice,
Appreciate
dope,
it.
man.
man. How'd that go, man?
Yeah, give me some cowbell. Give me some cowbell.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we could drop some clue bombs, some clues
Got some food
bombs.
bombs.
how,
Um,
how that joint go, man?
yeah, man, it was pretty awesome. So just give y'all a little background story. So this was my first ever goal that I set out when I became like a photographer or creative.
Yeah,
Um, and it kind of just it resonates with me like when people say speak things into existence.
right.
So this whole time I kept this goal to myself, right? Um, but I made sure I told people in certain rooms what my goal was, so they could help me. It would be in their minds that this is what I wanted to do. Um, so yeah, for a long time, I kept that goal to myself. Then it finally presented itself, and I was like, I almost didn't take it, to be honest with y'all. Um,
Word.
so being an art director come in different capacities. So for this one, for instance, it was more so set design.
Mm.
Um, so I had to design a set for this music video, and I had to get like all the logistics and uh, all the props and all that kind of stuff, right?
Like lighting and all that stuff too.
Lighting, I had to create the whole scene. So
Nice,
from top
nice.
from top to bottom, pretty much.
That's
Um,
dope.
so yeah, man. Like I
That's
said, I
dope.
almost didn't take it because I felt like, even though this is what my one of my end goals were,
Yeah.
Mm.
um, I still felt like I wasn't ready and I wasn't who I was trying to be, which I'm already am. If that makes sense.
No, it does.
Word.
It does, bro. It does.
So for a second, I kind of doubted myself. Like I'm not gonna do this. This is not me. But I had all the skills to do it. Um, so long story short, I took it, and once I actually got into like the shoot days, man, I was in my zone. Like I was telling people, I was delegating like this goes there, this goes there,
Yeah.
and I was talking to all kinds of people, like lighting people, people setting up drapery and stuff like that. Um, yeah, it was dope. I had to like rent furniture and stuff like that. It was kind of crazy, but
That's what's up, man.
yeah, man.
That sounds fun as heck, man.
Man,
Did you document, like, did you take any pictures or
so
anything
yeah,
to remember and
I'm
stuff?
gonna put up some pictures later. We gotta wait
Word.
till everything comes out. Um,
Who direct for? Who are you doing? What was the art? The art.
so this lady,
Visual for.
she's coming out with the skincare line. Um, so a couple of my friends,
Mm-hmm.
one was my previous manager, and another one was my friend. They reached out to me earlier. I'm like, yo, I know you want to do art directing in the future, so would you like to do this? So I was like, I was like reluctant at first, but I took it. And it's for this lady who's coming out with their skincare line, and she wanted to create a music video and like do like some interviews kind of style stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So, and the thing is, I had 1 month to like do everything. So I had to like find different production companies to outsource the vendor with. So her theme was she wanted some drapery in it. So I had to get like this company that does drapery and lighting, and they had to like create these long drapes from the ceiling to the floor. And it was in this nice studio. Um, and then I had to talk to like different lighting people. This gaffer, I think I told y'all about him, but he used to be a scientist for NASA, and then he
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
like left that job to be a gaffer, like really, what he really wanted to do, which I thought was cool. So it was just interesting to work with different people, like different teams, and then everybody coming to me to ask, hey, does this go here? How does this look? So it was just really interesting. And I'd say when
That's
I was in
dope.
my zone, man, I was in my zone. Like
That's
I
what's up. I know
was
you felt satisfied at the end of the
I was
day,
so
you know.
happy. Like this is what I'm meant to be doing. So eventually, I
Nice.
think I might. I'm not. I don't think I probably won't ever step away from the camera, but I definitely want to be in that position more. So
Nice. That's what's up, bro.
Uh, that's beautiful, man. Because
yeah, man.
Yeah,
not a
congrats
lot
on
of
that,
people
man.
Appreciate it.
even
Man.
have that feeling. Can have that
Hell
emotion
yeah.
Yeah, you do
within their
something.
lifespan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when you do something satisfying, like you want to do it more. Like and especially if you do a good job at it.
Yup.
So that's definitely the feeling I got. Um, but it wasn't easy. So during this time, like I had to stay up like long nights.
Mm.
Um,
Do a lot of planning and stuff.
a lot of planning, a lot of designing, a lot of emails, a lot of calls. Yeah, a lot of outsourcing to people, and then just finding different quotes for everybody. Um,
You had a budget to work with.
yeah,
Okay.
that's the thing that also brought me on board because it's super hard to do like a creative job without a budget.
Hmm.
Yes.
Of course, of
Say that
course.
again, bro. Say that again.
Yeah, it's really hard. Uh,
So
so
were you successful in staying under budget, or how did you meet
so that's another conversation too.
expectations?
So when you do get a budget, you have to stay within those means.
Hmm.
So even though you have certain ideas, like
Right,
big or
right.
small, you still have to stay within those means. Um, but for the most part, I was on budget as far as like my area.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's just you wouldn't think it's a lot of logistical stuff that went into it, but it's a lot. But it was good experience. Like,
No doubt, no
good to
doubt. I'm
know.
happy for you, man.
Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
congrats, man. That's another
Yeah, there you go. Heck yeah, there you go. That cowbell, man.
congrats
That's
to him.
dope.
And then I also found out like what it takes to be creative because I was still working during this time. So I felt like found out what it takes to be creative while still having a 9 to 5. Um,
That's a tough one, man.
yeah,
That's a tough thing to do.
yeah. So
You said you were talking about the logistics. I definitely understand about the logistics part, like
yeah,
because you put together a whole project, top to bottom, just as well as you put together the project from within the room. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But out of the outsourcing, getting the people together, the contact list, you're essentially building your own director portfolio.
right,
But at the
That's
same time,
fire,
you're
man.
building your whole Rolodex of
exactly. Yeah,
contacts and people and
But
relationships. That's going to be like, I need this. I know where, you're going to easily be able to maneuver from what you need next time. It's
yeah,
awesome. So happy
yeah,
for you.
man.
yeah. So yeah, man, this it was interesting. I definitely want to do that again. So that was my experience of being an art director for the first time.
Say it's challenging to be like uh responsible for pushing that creative train as well as your nine to
Yeah.
five. How do you balance both? How do you what are your motivations for like making sure one gets done and the other one is being taken care of? Like,
That's a good question because I'm just a hard worker. So
yeah.
one, if I'm being paid to do something, I'm not going to slack.
Hmm.
Like, I can't slack. That's just your
Yeah.
reputation,
Right.
you know. So you can't procrastinate. Like you have to, even though you might be tired, you might get like a little creative block. You still have to push through that because you got to meet deadlines, and
Yeah.
you're being counted on to produce what you've been hired for. So it's we at the highest level of creative right here. This is working for other people, working with other people. You gotta, you just gotta provide and produce what you've been hired for. So
Hmm.
I just had to push through, man. I usually when you do stuff for yourself, you kind of got like a little pinch of procrastination,
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that training has to keep going, especially when it's like 20 people on a team. Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
they depended on you.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So it's fair to say that we've all experienced like having to sacrifice the creative train and have to like maybe put more time and effort into your nine to five.
yeah, it's definitely I think it's a muscle you have to be used to
I
to
like that.
working
I like that
because
muscle, man.
it's a whole different lifestyle. You so used to working your 9 to 5, and
Yeah.
then you have to add the extra 9 to 5 on top of it. So it's just like it's mentally charging, it's physically charging, and it's creatively
Yeah.
charging.
So you gotta Formula One that joint. You gotta like change gears all the way,
But
just stick shift and like no more automatic. It's
yeah,
manual.
it is. It's
6 speed.
since it's creative, it's not as much as like work, I guess. Like you
Yeah, because you're
still
enjoying it. I mean, if
exactly,
you're
yeah,
exactly, then it ain't work. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah. I feel
So
you
yeah,
on that,
man.
man.
I will have pictures, and I tried to record the process of it, like how I felt during it. I didn't really
Yeah.
get too far. I probably only recorded like 2 videos, but I'll post that. Probably post that next month. But yeah, it honestly it made me happy. So
I'm happy for
Word.
you, man. Happy for you.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Uh, Tom, what you got for us? Speaking of happy,
Hey, man, that's I'm glad you're talking about things that make you happy because that's kind of, one of the major points that I wanted to make. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
What you
I
wanted to
just feel
say
like
about it, man? What you want
Nah, man, I just one of the
Being all married and whatnot.
yeah, no bull. That definitely contributes to the happiness in a major way. You feel me?
Yeah.
But yeah, when you asked, how the mood was, how my mental was, man. I said that's great because I feel like right now, I'm at a point where in my life where I'm like, I want to put less energy, what I'm saying, into my 9 to 5, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been having like that talk with myself lately, like, because there's a lot of creative stuff that I want to do, like a lot. Like I have like pages of stuff that I've written down of ideas and stuff that I want to do, but it's hard because, you know what I'm saying, the 9 to 5 drains me. You know what I'm saying? Takes
Yeah,
all my energy.
honestly, I think people get caught up in a 9 to 5 thinking that that's all the time that they have in a day.
Right.
But we're not the president. Like we don't have uh time blocks booked out throughout the whole 24 hours. You just got to put it in that extra time. So, like,
You just got to put in the extra time, bro.
yeah.
And it'd be like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially because I stream too. I stream
Mhm.
on Twitch. So if I want to stream for three hours, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna have to do that after work, or I'm gonna have to do that, before work, or something like that, or wait till the weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's put that extra time. But one of the big realizations I've been having lately, man. I've been, focusing on doing more of that, putting less energy into things that not necessarily don't make me happy,
Mhm.
and then putting more energy into things that do make me happy, like family, and like talking to y'all, you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah. That's definitely important.
streaming and things like that, and photography and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've been taking days off from work lately, just to see what it feels like to to have a full day just dedicated to just doing what I want,
Yeah.
doing what makes me happy. And then honestly, it's been feeling great,
Yeah.
like this setup that I got right now. I borrowed this light, this big old key light that's here, but like the setup right now, man, I love doing stuff like this. Just like you say, you love doing your art directing, bro. I love doing stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? And I was gonna like I took a whole day off. You know what I'm saying? Just so I could do a photo shoot. You know what I'm saying? I've just been finding that I feel like I need to tell more people this. Especially the folks who have to work 9 to 5s to pay
Mhm.
bills and stuff like that. Definitely, take that time off. Like, do not let the 9 to 5s drain you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
'Cause it'll put you in a rut. You know.
yeah, man, like do those things that make you happy, like I love cartoons, for example. And
Mhm.
my wife, she had randomly said to me last week, or like, well, not last week, it's like 2 weeks ago. She was like, I haven't seen you watch cartoons in a while. And I was like, you know what? You right, because
Good
work
woman
been
right there.
yeah, you know what I'm
She's like,
saying?
man, you're not being yourself, man.
You're
What's
not
going
being
on?
yourself, you know what
Check
I'm
in.
saying?
That's what's up.
Heck yeah. And I was like, you know what, you right, and I had to sit back and I was like, yo, my 9 to 5 is draining me. I need to put more energy into things that I enjoy and that I love. And
Yeah.
I feel like it's just important to do things that do make you happy. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, I just feel like that's really key. I mean, so what do you guys think? What do you guys feel like are those things that, because I know you guys have or currently work 9 to 5s. Like, what are those things that you do? I would
Thank you.
say, I guess, in your off time that like make you happy, I guess. Like make you feel good. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I would say it's kind of like you. Like sometimes you take a day off. I fortunately have a day off, so I try to tend to my creativity during that day.
Right.
Um, and then it's just like rest and creativity. So I try to combine those days on. combine those things on that day, right?
Right. Facts.
Um, and then just taking on projects where you know you have to commit to, uh, or even if it's for yourself, right? So say if you want to design a logo or design some future project that you want to do, you have to
Yeah.
commit. Like, okay, I need to have this done on this day, even if say if you don't ever get to it, but at least you have the idea done in
It,
flesh. So
exactly.
stuff like that. Like I'm
That's what's up, bro.
probably gonna do like a photo shoot in the future. So I have like my creative brief that I need. But yeah, just
That's
little
what's up.
stuff that'll keep you.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Happiness is key, man.
I can definitely say that probably like eating a lot of vegetables.
Makes
Yeah.
you happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like just
That's
indulging
awesome.
in like, the the veggies. Like so
Indulging the veggie.
yeah.
Okay.
Are you going? Are you trying to go full vegan, man?
That I mean maybe one day we're gonna take it one day at a time,
Hey, I
one
feel
step at
you.
a time.
Yeah.
Where
I don't think I could ever do vegan though.
I
I mean, I
don't
probably
think.
could.
Yo, hang around me like we used to. Yo,
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Oh
I'm
yeah, I remember
telling
you
you,
used to. Yeah, you used to be heavy on that. But no, can't.
you could do it.
Yeah.
I didn't think I could ever do it,
Yeah.
and right now, and I see it more so than I used to. Like for sure, definitely because my girlfriend's full vegan, so
Oh yeah, that's
like
true.
she's been vegan for like what 5 years, and then 3 before that she was vegetarian.
Oh, so it makes it easy. Oh, it's easy for you then, right?
You just gotta know where the bomb food is.
Where
And
Yeah.
just not get led afraid all these other people and having a conditioned thinking or anything like that it's going to taste some way that you only got to eat this and all that kind of stuff. Like you don't got to just eat tofu. I hate tofu. I only think I had tofu like in eggs, like a tofu scramble or something like that. So that's just like one of those things.
No, you're right. Because
yeah,
I had
Low misconceptions.
I had vegan soul food one time. It was fire.
You said vegan soul food.
Yeah, vegan soul food was fire.
Dope.
I don't
I
think
pretty
I've ever
much had
had that
almost
before.
every kind of dish you can name vegan style now.
I think my hardest thing would probably be the chicken, bro. I
Mm.
can't. It's
Yeah,
hard for me to give the chicken. Now they have some faux chicken that's pretty bomb, like with the little
Yeah.
drummy and yeah.
yeah,
Not for you, the vegetables. They just once you put healthy stuff in your body it's gonna
Your
make you feel
body-
better, and then that makes your mental feel
yeah.
better. So
facts.
I feel that.
But to your point though, Tony, I think that like if you have struggles getting
Mhm.
to your creativity, like your creative side, whatever that is, your avenue, then you could probably not pick that to be your thing that makes you happy or your escape. Um, and it just may be something you tend to procrastinate on.
Mm.
So I think that you have to be active with it, like you said. You have to be willing to actually
Yeah.
dedicate or allocate time to that, and then set yourself, like you said, very importantly, set some goals as
Mhm.
far
Yeah,
as
man.
because that will give you the progress and the progression that you need.
Right.
And each step, I think you feel slowly satisfied with your progress. There's a little congratulatory moment for you that makes you
Yeah,
feel
man.
like, oh, I like that feeling. I can chase that again. There's progress. I can get that again. I'm getting somewhere.
It's like the runner's high.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I agree.
snowball effect. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely a major key right there, man.
Yeah.
And and that's one thing I'm teaching myself. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy that you say that. That's one thing I'm teaching myself because I ain't gonna lie, I'm a procrastinator. You know what I'm saying? I'll
Bro, you're not
procrastinate to the
alone,
day
bro.
I die, bro.
You're not.
I will, man.
I think
For
it's
real.
natural for creatives in general to
Yeah.
be procrastinated.
Yeah. But you know what I'm
Not-
saying? I definitely challenged myself. I'm sorry, I definitely challenged myself to, like set a day, like set dates and like if I want to, drop some content or, if I'm going to stream, I try to make schedules or, just set little small tiny goals, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That helps
Did you
keep me in
ever
check.
and don't forget your thought, Devin, but did you ever take days off before like the whole uh COVID era? Because I know the COVID era kind of exaggerates or exaggerated everything, like just being in the house, cabin fever.
Right.
Um, but yeah, did you tend to take days off to care for your happiness, like self care before this?
I did. Well, not take days off. Nah, I was man. That's because before this, I was going places to get my to get my
Oh
happiness.
yeah,
Like after work, I would go to like on Tuesdays, I would go to $5 Tuesdays at the movies.
right.
So every Tuesday, that was like my personal ritual for myself. And my girl, she was perfectly with it. She was like every day when I came home from work on Tuesday, she was like, "Oh, so which movie you going to see tonight?" You know what I'm saying? And it was just like my personal solo mission where I can just be in solace and just be by myself and enjoy a movie. You know what I'm saying? So I would do little small things. I wouldn't take days off, but I also feel like since COVID started, I've been working harder than I was before COVID, which is crazy.
Yeah, that does sound a little crazy, but yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Well, you been working harder on self investment or like your nine to
Not
five?
like, yeah, the 9 to 5, the 9 to 5. It's been, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Some
no,
places, some things have just been more demanding as far as like the
yeah,
switch from not being, in the office every day.
right.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
It's,
I can agree to that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like a creative responsibility to be happy and not to like procrastinate. So
Yeah.
facts.
And my point that you were telling me to remember, I think I was just gonna say like the with the procrastination thing. Well, see, like me, I can be honest. For me, I feel like if it's something that is geared to the creative train that I'm riding right now,
mhm.
or I'm trying to get projects together, or trying to make some content for branding, I feel like I run into the roadblock of if I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do it,
Mhm.
if I don't know A to Z, or even if I don't know A to M, like halfway, you feel like, oh, that's a piece that I'm gonna have to spend learning or teaching myself.
Mhm.
So it's like, do I feel like doing that? And
Mm,
this is supposed to be a time that I feel like I'm supposed to be trying to relax my brain or give it
Right.
something it wants.
Instead of stressing.
mm,
And yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
see, the idea is that anything that is gonna be rewarding has to be worked for. So you have to
Yeah.
remember that that little bit of work and that push that you push to give that work
Mm.
is gonna return some fruitful labor. You're gonna feel like, man, I needed to figure this out. So now I can move on to something else, or I can get closer to what I was trying to get to. So
Yeah. And to your point, like that's the point of having different people like in your circle who are creative. Like
hmm
one, they could eventually teach you those things, maybe, or they can give you some advice on that,
yeah,
or they can just even help do it for you. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I think that's another aspect to like,
Having a strong creative network around
yeah,
you.
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, and I definitely feel what you're saying, Dev. Because man, there's been a couple of things like I said, I have a list, not a list, but I have like a couple of pages of ideas that I've written down, and I'm like, let me tell you, gotten to the process of setting up, right? Like for a photo shoot, for example, I had an
Yeah,
idea, gone through the process of setting up, but then I got maybe halfway through, and I'm like, damn, I'm missing this, or damn, I don't know how to make it look like this on camera. And I'm like, oh man, I gotta learn. Do I feel like learning how to do this? And you know what I'm saying? And that because that's just gonna be more time. And I'm like, man, I'm not gonna be able to do this right now. I gotta take a day and sit back and go on YouTube real quick and look up how to do such and such so I can make my idea the way I want it to be. You know what I'm saying? Which will definitely that adds to the procrastination, at least for
but
me
I
personally.
think even to that point, that's the sticking and main driving reason that the creative hour was, for your week. I think
Yeah,
creatives
man.
should have a creative hour at least at least once a week. You can give yourself an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
man.
for those of you who don't know in the audience, Devin came up with the idea of like having this creative hour where we all kind of try to get together and either work on the podcast or do something creative with each other, which I thought was a good idea. It kind of breaks up the monotony of the work week. Um, so yeah, I totally agree. Like everybody needs that allocated time. Like as it's your responsibility as a creative to one keep your creative like thriving, and even if you get into a rut, you got to keep it going somehow. You have to
Yeah.
rejuvenate it.
For sure, man.
So yeah. So speaking of like responsibilities and stuff like that, um, what other responsibilities like would you say you probably need as a
Um,
creative?
di- Discipline. I think it still kind of plays
Hey,
into
say
what you
that
were.
one again, man. Say that
Yeah,
one
yeah,
again.
it's discipline, my G. Man, it's yeah, cause I'll have my days, man. Like I'll have my days. For example, I'll be like, I want to do this. I'm going to do this idea, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Something will happen or something will come along, and then I'll be like, you know what? I don't feel like doing it anymore. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll put it off. I'll do it next weekend. You know what I'm saying? Um, or I won't. I'll forget to. I'll forget to set time aside so I can do something, so I can do work on my project. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Um, I that's something I'm still struggling with. Discipline. That's
So
that's a major key, man.
when you say discipline for being a black creative, when you hear discipline or a
Yeah.
black man, what do you when you hear discipline,
Mhm.
or even for a black person, when you hear discipline, what do you think? Like, who gives discipline from your early days to now? Like when back to way in the origins of your knowledge of discipline, where does it come from?
Self, man.
So I think mainly, of course, your parents, right? Like
Yeah.
you always learn that aspect of discipline. Mainly if you have a father figure in your life,
Yeah,
but if
yeah,
not, your mom is always there too. But yeah, it's definitely those parental figures that definitely, at least for me, gave me like that sense of understanding of discipline, I guess.
yeah. And so you, I think, as a person, as a grown adult and individual, a responsible individual, you you take on that responsibility of discipline and giving laying that order down, laying that the law down of what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do it or how you even move in society. So you give discipline. Are you good or are you like bad in that kind of sense?
Right.
And I think I think that voice that you hear is a mix between your inner self and like what your parents already gave into you or poured into you. So that instills a lot in all of the community upbringing that you've received growing up,
Mm,
and seeing people work hard gives you that whole capture of discipline. And I think for discipline, the irony in it, I'm gonna come back to why I mentioned the
yeah.
parents, but when when we talk about discipline, I think that creatives owe a responsibility to themselves to be creatives,
Mm,
and they also owe, in a sense, the world to to be creative, because everybody's not born creative,
right.
Nah.
and I can't tell you that there's not any creatives that haven't been inspired by other creatives. So if you're not going to give any of your creative to the world to help others, someone along to one day become inspired, then I feel like maybe you're dropping the ball,
Mm.
or you're not, you know, do you so what do you guys think?
Because you when you live in your purpose, it's like you're gonna touch somebody, you know? Like
Hmm.
Yeah,
when
man.
you taking on that mantle of okay, I'm a creative, this I like to create, so I'm gonna give my creativity to the world, then I think you'll notice you touching other creatives, you know?
Yeah.
So I think
Well,
that kind of brings it back to well, your the first point I guess you guys were making was being disciplined, but hand in hand what Tony and Rashawn were both saying. And Devin, you mentioned it a lot, but it just the word wasn't mentioned as the accountability. So
mm,
I have being
Yeah, that's
accountable,
major.
like that
What?
discipline goes hand in hand with holding yourself accountable, and then the whole group session, mastermind theory, whatever you want to call it, comes also into double accountability on top of the projects, on top of yourself. And then Devin made a great point when you're talking about who's from birth, like where do you get the lesson of, what discipline is and the meaning behind it and everything,
right.
and who establishes that for you. Um, then it's up for you at a certain point to govern yourself. So then it's a whole new ball game.
Whole new ball game, man.
Whole new
Like,
ball game.
yeah, I feel that. It
Tony
was
and stuff is
crazy.
hard, bro.
Yeah,
It's
man.
hard.
Yeah.
Like,
It's crazy because my parents, I'm a lazy person, so my parents, even as I was growing up, my parents used to always, one of the things, when I was getting fussed at for doing something stupid, they would be like, or when I was getting fussed at for school, they would be like, we don't understand why you're so lazy because we're not like this.
Yo, low key,
Oh,
it
We
might be
didn't
a
teach
little
you.
brother thing, bro.
yeah.
Because
You know
I
what I'm
think little
saying?
brothers, they just be like, I'm just like, yo, what y'all doing, man?
I mean, I tell you, you're right. I am the baby, technically. You know what I'm saying?
it's
But
funny.
yeah, man, I had to shoot, and I've been lazy for like all my life, obviously, and procrastinate. But man, I had to, I have to have talks with myself sometimes, to keep myself
Got to.
accountable for things that I say I'm going to do. And I'll one of the things I'll definitely do to help keep myself accountable. I'll tell my wife, I'm like, yo, I'm thinking about doing a photo shoot like this, thinking about shooting a music video, with doing this and this and this. Like, I'll try to tell somebody my idea, or I'll tell y'all, you know what I'm saying? I'll tell y'all my idea of something I'm thinking about doing. Like, that'll also help keep myself accountable, because it's like, yo, I said it out loud and I told somebody else. So it's like,
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. I feel that.
yeah,
Because we're so used to keeping everything in, but when you're telling you're telling your circle, the people who actually
yeah,
care about your passions and your future and your best interest, is something totally
exactly.
different. Because that
Exactly,
it just
bro.
enhances yourself. So like
That's how you know
that
you got like
yeah.
real ones around you because they'll keep you on your stuff. Like, hey, I know you're
Yeah.
supposed to be doing this. What happened? Where's it at? You know what I mean?
Word.
So it's just like that. What you're saying is like the little bit of putting yourself out there is what reinforces that feeling.
Yeah.
Alongside
Facts.
of the lines of like parents, right? We all parents, creatives.
They
No.
were kind of.
Think by nature our dad was,
Mm,
or by like
Yeah.
by like personality or his personalness, he was, but they belong to a different generation. So
yeah,
Yeah.
That's the
So I'll say
crazy
like
thing.
couple with
Yeah.
ambitious,
yeah.
That's what
They
I
weren't
would say.
necessarily straight creative, but they were ambitious.
Yeah.
Then your dad's used to draw, right?
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
that's
He
why
still does.
I say
okay,
he's a more of a creative and
yeah,
versus ambitious. I think that they were less ambitious than we were,
right,
to be honest. And I say that because their
But they had their
generation.
own version of ambition. That's why I say the ambitious part.
yeah,
Because you got to start somewhere to get you to a point.
Well,
You
I
know what I'm
mean,
saying?
I agree to some extent, but I would say that their generation didn't allow them to consider, am I ambitious? Their generation forced them to consider, what am I going to do to provide for my family?
yeah.
So it was
True
So in
that.
turn,
True
they
more
that.
was
it was more
ambitious.
of a survival
Yeah, I
thing.
feel like
I
you
like that. I
still.
like that, bro. In turn, they
It
was
was more of
ambitious.
a survival thing, it's
Yeah.
just so, that type of environment, there's a kill or be killed, but it's also do what you got to do to survive. So I may have to give
Yeah.
up my dreams, things
Yeah,
that I
Sink or
thought I
swim.
wanted to do to be able to put food on the table.
yeah. Because black families didn't really support
Yeah, man.
creativity like that. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it was,
Yeah,
yeah, I would say in the past generations.
Yeah, yeah.
Facts.
I mean, I'm sure, bro. Like even I'm like you want to go to school, they say, "Oh, what you want to go to school for?" It's got to be
Yeah,
something like a doctor, a lawyer, or a
Lucrative,
STEM.
you
Like
know.
when I was
yeah.
growing
Yeah.
up, like they
Not no
don't.
photographer. Like,
Yeah,
what
Yeah,
the heck?
exactly. What? Yeah. I truly feel like we're like the first generation that's able to, us the millennials, we're the first generation that's able to do that, to be creative. You know what I'm saying? We had that option. Um, and but the kids that are growing up now, they 4 or 5 years old already doing YouTube pages and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
It's like the norm, you know.
Right, right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my parents weren't really creative. My dad, he used to be a DJ, so he used to be really into music. So of course, that's another form of
Yeah.
creativity too. So
Got your pops used to be a DJ.
yeah, man, he used to be on the spins, the tables.
That's what's up, man.
My dad also
Yeah.
studied architecture for a few
Oh yeah,
years.
yeah.
Oh,
So
where? Yeah, nah, my parents were yeah, they were straight. They were driven. I would say I get drive from them. Like when I'm focused as heck when I'm focused. That's one thing I get from them. They weren't, I don't think it was just exactly what Devin said. I don't think they had the opportunity to be creative. I think it was just straight up, yo, I need to provide for my family. Boom.
Yeah.
yeah. And I think that that just is the generational thing, and the that comes twofold with having children who may be possibly creative.
Mm,
um Maybe they grow up and don't want to have the lifestyle that their parents had, or maybe they're
right.
just totally different, they were instilled with something more. So you never really know. And I think as you're growing up, you should just realize that, if you have a creative passion, then follow it and try to get around some creative people, because that's going to help you cultivate and mold yourself through your obstacles a lot.
Y'all think when
And
y'all have kids? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You think when you have kids, y'all gonna support their creativity like knowing all the stuff that you go through now as a creative, like all the hard ups and downs. Do you think
Yeah.
you'll push your kid to be a creative themselves?
If they want to be creative, absolutely, absolutely. Because that the joy that I find in being creative is untouchable, man. So hell yeah.
of course, if they naturally want to be, they naturally are creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And um, I want them to have all the things necessary to decide a good choice for themselves. So that means, like, if they feel like that creative flows creative juices flow naturally for them,
Mhm.
then they should probably do something that helps challenge them in that way, versus not being aware of what the options are.
Right.
So like from when we were growing up, I'm sure the options have grown like 10 times, if not like, 100 times.
My parents.
Yeah.
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 So even for us now, like from when we were younger, like kids now after us, the generation after us, was it Generation X?
Yeah. Yeah.
They have so much many more options open, or avenues available to them to learn how
Yeah. They're
to
teaching
do
kids how to do
things.
like podcasts now,
Yeah.
like in high school.
Yeah, man. That's crazy.
I think it's cool. It's crazy. It's
So
like how times
it's
changing.
very similar to what
Yeah.
I used to do. I used to mentor for Verizon,
Okay.
STEM camp for minorities. So the whole thing was just geared for exposure,
Hmm.
giving minorities exposure to STEM, teaching them different things along the lines of 3D printing, uh, 3D printing,
Like digital media stuff.
huh?
Like digital media stuff, or like um.
Not necessarily digital media, but like 3D design,
Oh, okay.
or
Okay.
just
Okay.
design for 3D printing, augmented reality and virtual reality. So
Gotcha.
it's
Nice.
just to be able to have the exposure, and then if they ever see it again or get any more opportunity in those areas, they can sit in those rooms and
Right.
be
Right.
like comfortable, or they could even expand and branch off and just take full-fledged running with the creativeness.
Yeah. All right. No, I think that's a good topic, especially like with parents. like how your parents correlate to your creativity in a sense, as far as like discipline or you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like it's cool. Like they give you some type of not ability, but you know,
Yeah.
something that contributes to your creativity.
So I'll start like with going back to my topic, right? Like
Mm.
when I was doing the art directing stuff, like I didn't have time to procrastinate. Um, one because I
Hold on, Tom. So when you were doing that, did you have a whole month to set up to do the complete like
yeah
everything was a month time span?
exactly a month. Like,
Wow.
but and that's one thing that kept the fire in my butt. Like, all right, we were on a pretty much a tight deadline.
Yeah, that's a tight deadline.
Yeah, so I had to.
Yeah,
Because you're sourcing and then you're also producing in the same span. That's tight.
And then so for the people I'm sourcing out, like I have to make sure they're going to be on time to produce what they need to
Exactly.
produce.
It fits within their
Yeah,
deadline, their time, their lead time. Like if they can't do it, then that pushes you on to the next guy.
exactly. So I couldn't procrastinate at all.
yeah, man. I would say, shoot, for me, I I procrastinate to this day. Heck, I procrastinate. I procrastinated earlier today, actually, but yeah, it's a battle. I would say it's an everyday battle. I'm glad that I don't procrastinate with important things as much as I used to. I used to procrastinate with everything. It would be even with the important stuff. Like if I needed to, I don't know, like if I needed to get my tags updated on my car, I literally did that like the weekend before the day was about to expire for that month. So you know what I'm saying? It's things like that, you know what I'm saying? I had to stop doing. But like with as far as being creative and procrastinating, man, I had to seek for what I normally do now is like I try to seek inspiration. I try to inspire myself or self motivate myself, like or self motivate. Um, like I'll either like there's this guy that I follow. He's a black creative. He's on YouTube. His name is, well, I don't know his real name actually. But his YouTube page is YC Imaging or whatever. And he talks about, you know, the different struggles of a creative. He talks about, you know, how he got to the position he is because he started from the ground up just doing music videos, you know what I'm saying, for his brother because his brother was an artist. And he went from there to doing commercials and doing you know, he still does music videos, but like he's you can see that where he's came from, how far he's came. And I'm just like when I'll go to his page and I'll watch like his videos. I don't know, man, the universe is crazy. Universe is crazy because it'll be like sometimes when I'm feeling a certain way as a creative, or I'm feeling lazy, or I feel like I'm procrastinating, I'll get on YouTube and I'll see that he just posted a video about, let me give you an example. He'll post a video about things like 5 things that you need to realize as a creative when you're stuck or something like that. And I'm like, man, this is be right on time. You know what I'm saying? And I'll watch like one of his videos and I'll automatically, you know, I'll get that motivation. And
to your point, that's all about like the type of uh content that you subscribe to and ingest, right? Like say
yes,
if
man,
if
bro,
you would
I'm
never
telling you,
subscribe to that guy, you would never see that video, right?
facts, bro. Like
So
that's major key.
yes.
Like
So I think
what
it's
you
always
ingest is
right.
key. Yeah,
So I think it's always good for creatives to just follow other artists, follow other creativity pages.
facts.
Because when you know, it's even if you say if you subscribe to uh, Baller Alert or whatever it's
Yeah,
called, like
complex or whatever. Yeah,
or a gossip pages, right?
yeah,
All you're doing is ingesting this gossipy,
that's
negative
it.
like energy. So that's the type of energy you're gonna receive, and that's the type of energy you're gonna put out. So it's just like you gotta make sure you subscribe to these creativity or artists so you can one ingest and then one you could regurgitate at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We are
man.
what we ingest. You're right.
Yeah,
Like we are
Because
our
I
thoughts. Like
yeah,
yeah,
it's
you
real.
take them breaks from social media too. Like I definitely I do that very often. Like I'll go days without getting on Instagram or Twitter or whatever because like just like you said, man, you soak up like that bad energy. Even you just reading something that's
yeah,
negative that will affect your energy. You know what I'm
yep,
saying? And it's important to protect your energy, you know?
yeah.
I think that's yeah, major key.
Be eating the veggies, man. Get on the veggies and trust
Brother
your intuition.
veggies, yeah, they do it, bro. Just like my man said.
Got me thinking about ideas for logos, like a veggie character or something. Now. About to get it. Come on, veggies.
Man.
Oh,
But yeah, procrastination is a beast. I feel like that's an ongoing beast. For me, that's an ongoing beast. But
I
I slay it though.
I think that one way to think about it when you want to consider procrastination and maybe even improve is like make sure that you have allocated time for doing nothing, or like maybe in your schedule you have time where you're just going to rest, so that you
Facts,
can
man.
distinguish the workday, my rest period, and then other time in my schedule, so you
yeah,
don't confuse, oh, I've been resting versus procrastinating.
right,
Because everybody is different. I'm a mental guy. I like my brain doesn't shut off ever unless I'm asleep. And then I guess it really does because I don't even remember dreams as much as I used to. So maybe it really goes to sleep. But anyway, I say that I say that because for me, I have to take time to just turn my brain off, to not think about anything.
yeah,
Otherwise, I feel like it's always working and trying to plan or calculate.
right,
So,
Yeah.
um, I do have to have time where I'm just, consider resting. Either I'm just
Yeah,
sitting
man.
down or kind of like recline, and I'm just like either like not thinking about the time as far as like the minutes going,
right,
or anything. And it's very hard because you can't watch something that's too powerful or too draining that you want to really concentrate on. So I think that the resting part, having that time to rest and making sure that's what that's designated for, it'll help you realize the difference between procrastinating.
yeah.
That's bro,
I
that's
agree.
super important, bro. That is super important. Yeah, I've just that's exactly one of the reasons why I started taking the days off, man, when I need to, or just, finding that time in my day or after my day to just do nothing, you know what I'm saying? Kick my feet up if I want to, relax.
Yeah,
That way, yeah.
Rest time, procrastinating. But rest time and procrastinating are two different things, but
Yeah.
definitely can feel like they're one. Well, you know you need to work, but you also, you know. But I think I wanted to like touch on like waiting to release stuff, you know, waiting to drop content, you know,
Oh,
waiting
man,
to bring something to your audience.
stop talking about me right now, bro. Can you stop, please?
Brought this
Stop,
on yourself.
bro. You hurt me right now.
Well, it's real, man. I've been, because I feel like I've been battling with this for the last few years now.
Word.
So it's something that's very, very personal to me.
mm,
Um, no, but you can't. There's never going to be the right time. You know, we always wait for that perfect moment, but we all know it's never going to come. There's no perfect energy, perfect moment. You know, you either got to double down and put the work in, or just make it happen most of the time. Well, like you said, find inspirations to get you there. You know,
yeah, yeah.
um,
A lot of people don't like to put out their art when they're just starting. When I think they should, 'cause it'll show progress.
yeah. But that's a
Facts.
touchy subject. It really depends on what it is
I
because
mean, I know I'm an
for
artist. We all sensitive about it. I get it.
Yeah, I'm sensitive as shit, bro.
like I
Like,
have so many things that haven't been out because I feel like they're not copywritten. Like I don't have the right licenses over top of them. I don't,
Um,
I have those
Word.
little fears, and maybe I need to be, I know I had to push past those,
Yeah,
but those are my feelings towards that.
yeah. I think it's
Man, oh
one thing is
gosh.
just uh, being caught up on your art. So you might not even need copyrights for certain stuff. It could just be the idea of something. Um, yeah, just look it up. It might not be to the extent to what you're even thinking of. You know.
Yeah,
I would
man.
say if that's not the case, I would. Sorry to cut you off, Rashawn. I
No,
would
no, no. You good?
what Tony said. If that's not the case and you don't need a license, you don't need it to be to have a copyright, then I think your best bet would be to prime your execution. So
Mm,
say if you're releasing it, you're 10 toes, you know what I'm saying? You on the ground, you hitting it running
yeah.
because it's not your idea until you execute the finished product.
Right.
So it becomes someone else's idea. So I think when it comes to releasing something in terms of whatever, any art element, we're talking about music, talking about design, fashion, sculpting, all of that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it comes down to, are you going to have the execution after you release it? Are you going to, let 10 days go by or so, a month go by before you follow up on the last thing you put out? Because
Yep.
that's going to determine if there's any gap to, someone else seeing it, someone else moving on, that
Yeah.
idea.
Because
But
it's also
this,
universal thought too. Like
yeah,
somebody might have your idea and then you just missed out on it. You know.
Yep.
So when they say speaking it into existence, it
Mm,
comes with that territory of putting it in the universe.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
facts.
even with this podcast, we're putting it or stamping it because we're making content.
Right.
So what you were just saying, Adrian, you gotta push to keep making more content because say you drop your first project, right? Your first concept, and somebody see it and they look something similar to their liking, or they create something, or somebody has something similar, right? But if you've already had your first concept and you have made content already, you can drop your second content, your third
exactly,
concept, your
exactly.
fourth, and then they'll just be, variations of what
Yeah.
you've built. But you've already built a brand. You've built
Yeah.
it.
And then nobody can do it like you once you
Yeah,
got it
nobody's
out.
gonna have
Facts.
one, two, three, four, and five concepts like you have.
Yeah.
So I mean, from your testimony and what you're saying, those fears and stuff, and just the conversation, I'm learning from that. Like, just make content, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Just do it. Exactly. Man. Man, I feel like we all here, man, because I've been having those same
You
thoughts,
already
yo.
know it.
Like,
You already know it.
I feel like, yo, yeah. Because I definitely been in that space where I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
like I'm sitting on stuff. Like I am sitting on a lot of stuff. Some of it, like I need to finish, obviously. And that's where the procrastination comes in. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I have
And a
those
lot of
same
people,
fears, man.
if some people feel like they don't have the resources to, but
Yeah.
we're in 2021, like there's resources everywhere,
Everywhere, bro.
literally
Facts,
everywhere.
man.
It's like you running out of that excuse.
It's, I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
it's yeah, because you don't have to do. Sometimes you think you want to do things on a larger scale than what you can actually do, but
Yeah, true,
just start
true.
small. It's okay,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Everybody has to start somewhere.
Starting somewhere helps.
I'm learning that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The more projects and stuff you take on. Like I'll talk about I'm about to do a kitchen remodel, and I don't feel
okay.
like I'm completely in the space to do it. And I don't feel like I'm not saying in terms of knowledge wise, skill wise,
Mm,
Yeah,
because I definitely feel like it's in my capacity, I know I
yeah,
have the
word.
knowledge. I know I've been taught how to do it, you know what I'm saying? I've been through, a few trial runs, but when it comes down to the logistics of having, your contracts ready, the budget and everything, your own way of doing things and presenting yourself to the client and all that stuff, I don't think I'm there
yeah,
necessarily,
yeah.
but it really just comes back to uh putting your first, putting your feet forward and keep on moving.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Uh Also, there's a uh there's a phrase that Napoleon Hill says, and I think it's Think and Grow Rich, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm,
But it couples onto like self-doubt. So he says something on the lines of, I will like induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others.
That's like the quote.
Um,
A good leader knows how to be a good follower.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And he also says, I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in myself,
Mhm.
and I will believe in them, and in turn myself. So
Good
if you're
quotes.
believing in your circle, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and you have the right people around you, and you're inducing others to serve you by your integrity, your honesty, you know, to what you're going to bring to them whenever they, possibly may need help, really goes a long way. It's pushing,
Right.
pushing content out and feeling like you're prepared enough to do what you got to do, because just like Tony said, we all have resources.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We all
man.
have some, well, even if you don't have the direct resource, there's an avenue most
Yeah.
of the time that you can get to that resource.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I
It's
agree.
like those. I don't know if y'all seen. It's a page. It's an Instagram page of like these kids in Africa where they record their own versions of different movie trailers.
I've seen that. I've seen that.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
It's
So
awesome.
yeah. So they don't have a lot of. They didn't start off with a lot of resources, but they still made this creative like
Yeah.
version of movie trailers to kind of like mimic each scene, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, I
And
gotta
they're
check
not
that
using
out.
like big props or anything. They're using like all like homemade stuff they put
Exactly.
together. The
Yeah.
outfits and everything that they have isn't like all fancy. It's like it's really just like cut and dry. Like we got a camera, we're shooting this. You're
Right.
gonna know what the scene is when you hear the music and you see the
Right.
actors. It's dope. And they're
Yeah.
kids. They're like what? Are they 10?
Yeah.
Maybe
Like
younger?
range from like probably
They're
5 to
I
young.
gotta see that.
teens.
I never saw
Yeah,
that.
y'all
It's
gotta send
dope.
that to me, man.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
It sounds dope.
But yeah, man, I think this was a good episode. I think maybe next episode we'll try to talk about just different stuff instead of uh necessarily hardcore creative topics. So if y'all got any questions, make sure you ask us. Uh, we'll try to tackle them on the show. But yeah,
Man, you got
appreciate
any
y'all for
comments? Leave them in the comments.
exactly
Yeah, man.
comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Click
Like
the notification bell
and share.
and share. Please share with your homies, share with other creatives.
Tell your friends, tell the crew, tell your homie, your sister, your brother, everybody.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
So yeah, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Check us out in the next episode. Catch y'all later.
Peace.